Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us. We'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Hugh, and I'm Lafayette. That's right, just the three.
Amigos, the
tres
amigos.
So hopefully you're enjoying your Friday here with the Nerds Talking crew. And we did tell you we were going to talk about Moon Knight and Doctor Strange. We're going to push it back a week because Johnny wants to join us in that conversation. And, you know, Marvel, we all like to talk about those things. So it'll be next week when we talk about Moon Knight and Doctor Strange, which by that time, Moon Knight will be over. So we've all consumed it and we can, you know, pick it apart and go about it that way. But we're going to start off with streaming. Now, do you guys like the fact that streaming such as HBO Max gives you movies right away? Or do you like the big screen, you know, going to the theaters? Or because of such thing as HBO Max and even other outlets are starting to do it, where they give you the movie 6 weeks after theater release, does that now make you just wait? Like, am I gonna wait? Like, is your anticipation level dipped down a bit? What do you guys think? Go for it. Jump right in.
I'm okay with it. I'm actually okay with it because I feel like if you really want to see the big screen experience, you're still going to see it. Seeing something at home definitely doesn't take the place of that. I would far prefer to see, especially certain movies, on the big screen. Maybe circumstances don't let me see them as quickly as I'd like to, so at least I get to see them. I don't have to wait a year like you might have 15 years ago for it to come out. I like that idea. And
isn't it crazy though when you just said that, and we all know this. Remember VHS? How long we had to wait for a movie to get to us?
right.
Oh my
right.
God, it'd be forever. Remember when a movie came on, like the broadcast premiere of Jurassic Park on ABC 5 years later, and you're like, what? Like,
right, but you stayed home to watch it.
You watched it because man, it's on TV for
it was
free.
a big
I'm gonna
deal.
watch it. Yeah. That's crazy, man. We used to wait forever for these movies to come out, and
Well, like a year. It felt like it was a year,
man. And they got a little sophisticated with their VHS when you rented them, that you couldn't record them. Like over time,
Oh yeah,
they'd make it to where your recording would go all fuzzy and blurry, no matter how much you try to tune it. Oh, I remember Carlos and I tried to record like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So like when it came on VHS, we're gonna record this. And it was never clear. Hook the two VCRs up, stack them together, pumping cables in like we're like in the laboratory. Beep, boop, beep.
Yeah, like we're network dudes,
stack.
like we know what we're doing.
yeah. I had that. I had the same thing.
Wasn't it like it's just sounds so much fun, you know? So what Hugh, continue your take on the good old movies versus streaming.
Well, then Carlos was talking about how it's kind of ruined TV, and in a way, I would agree with that because streaming, you can be real in my mind. I mean, real as in saying real, showing real. I mean, TV just was so more PG, which I'm not saying there isn't a place for TV because there are certain shows that I love on TV. And if it's really, really well written, it just makes guys up their game, their writing game. You know, like I'm a huge Law and Order fan. And you have those guys their writers are tremendous, and they don't cuss, they don't do anything. So it's not that there's no place for it. I just think you got to up your game.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's crazy because how much content there is these days, you know, compared to what it was prior to even streaming, even with just cable. And just the fact that, I mean, I hear it all the time, especially here in LA. Oh, there's so much work now for everybody. And it's true because there's so much content to be created. I think you could be on a show on a shitty streaming platform, and you can be on that show for 6 years. No one will probably ever see it, but you steady working, right, as an actor or whatever it is, as a grip,
That's
as
right.
a PA.
That's right.
And
That's right.
there's just so much work out there these days. But I don't know. I feel like Batman's a good representation. So Batman came out streaming, still in theaters, and just recently it still was number 3 at the box office. And HBO is saying, "See, it works. Like you just have to have a product people want, but it
That's right.
works."
That's right.
You know. But I also believe that if it wasn't streaming, it'd probably still be number 1 or 2 in the box office. People would probably still be clamoring to see it.
That's what I'm saying. I think people will still go see it. They'll still go see it if it's a great film. Yeah.
As you can, as I just say, it's number 3. So people are still seeing it. It's 3 hours of drag. Carlos, give me your take.
First of all, you go to hell.
Saw that movie.
The Batman.
That was a Sam Raimi movie. Sam Raimi movie. Yeah. I was Drag You to Hell. My bad.
Like the movie experience. Well, it's totally up to you. If a movie comes out streaming in a theater at the same time, then, if you want the movie experience, depending on the film, like say Spider-Man, when that was released, say that was to do both at the same time, I still would have went to the theater to see it. That's just one of those movies you have to see in the theater. And like the Batman, I could have waited, was it 90 days or whatever it was, 45 days.
45 days.
45 days. Yeah. So I could have waited for that, but I didn't want to. I wanted to see it in the theater. It's one of those films you just got to see in the theater.
But didn't also create even an anticipation? You've already seen it and you're excited to see it again at home. Because I saw it that way as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big thing. Like, oh man, I just saw it, but man, I'm gonna see it again like just a couple of weeks. Like, yeah. Like I don't have to rush back to the theater to watch it again, even though I did to fall asleep.
It almost
again.
makes you feel like you're getting away with something. Oh, I'm watching it at home for free, I don't have to pay for tickets. I don't have to pay for popcorn or all that stuff. But that's the kind of feeling I get. Like when it came out, I was ready to watch it at midnight. Like, yeah, let's watch it again. I'm ready for it. But the thing with streaming is, I think it does take away from the TV watching experience. Like I remember back when we were younger, it was like a family gathering to watch a certain show, right? Everybody gather around on a Thursday night or whatever night it may be on at 8:00. Everybody would be on, they'd gather, and then you'd be able to talk to your friends about it the next day because they watched it too, right? But now you don't really get that. I mean, Disney's kind of doing it by releasing shows weekly as opposed to just throwing everything out there. But everything is so short. You're getting like 6-episode seasons, 7-episode seasons.
But what's the last show you recall that you put on your schedule to watch when it came out? Like it was must-see TV.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones is right up there.
Every Sunday, I had to be home to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
it came out weekly, and it came out at a certain time. It wasn't just okay. It's out on Sunday. No, it's out at this time.
Yeah, for sure. But see, for me, Game of Thrones,
But prior to that, like before, like cable or I guess streaming.
You mean network television?
Yeah, it was Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock,
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah. Benedict.
That was Sunday. You had to watch it at a certain time. It was, it was on network TV. But that was the last show before Game of Thrones. But after that, it's like they just throw everything at you, and you're like, I can binge watch this, or depending on how good it is, I can just wait a week, 2 or 3, and then binge watch those 3, and then catch the next one as they come out. But I think the whole movie going experience is, not movie, but TV watching experience is gone. Like, you'll see that meme now that goes around where it says kids these days will never understand the waiting for commercial breaks to go to the bathroom. And then the commercial's ending, and then somebody from the other room is yelling, it's back on, and then you're running into the room, you're diving over to the couch, to make sure you don't miss what's coming on next. Yeah, kids these days will not get that experience ever.
Do they want it?
No, because they're lazy.
Lost is one of those shows that I never missed. Lost was really good. That's like appointment television.
Example, Seinfeld and Friends. I don't think you'll ever see anything like that again.
24
episodes a season, really good, funny stuff.
The Office was like that. You'll never get that level though, because number one, because broadcast television, even when The Office was around, was still king. Broadcast television was still king.
Right.
Because think about cable television, right? There was no shows you necessarily ran to watch on TNT, TBS, blah, blah, USA. There were no shows you really, oh man, I have to watch this. Maybe Breaking Bad when it came out. Maybe. I mean,
yeah.
Like I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it after the fact and I binged it. So
Me too.
yeah, but when streaming came about, even Netflix when it first started wasn't must-watch television. But then they just had content you couldn't miss. You just couldn't miss like Orange is the New Black or
Right.
you know, things like, well, Stranger Things, right? It's like amazing show. Like you just can't miss. But then again, you can watch it in 2 days. You're done. You just it. You can watch it in a day, you know.
There still are though. I mean, like I told you, I'm a big Law and Order, and that's a weekly program, and it's
So
not.
are you still watching Law and Order? Like you're still like weekly
sure.
watching the new episodes?
Well, and see, that's the difference today is that if I miss a week, I can just go on the NBC app or I can go on Hulu and I can just find it there, and I can find 3 or 4 of them. But you could do that really with anything.
But I mean, that's the thing about, well, that's why I love Hulu for that reason. You don't have to catch network television anymore because of Hulu.
Right.
You can if I miss it tonight, it's okay. I'll watch it tomorrow.
All right, but do you get excited for the show? Because I remember if you missed a weekly show, I'm like, oh shit, I missed it. I didn't record it. You have to try to catch it on a rerun. And when you do see it on the rerun, like, oh, this is the one I haven't seen in a while. I haven't seen this one. So you get excited to watch it.
You know,
now I think networks are actually ruining themselves because, like Paramount, for example, what's Paramount is CBS.
Paramount Plus.
CBS?
Oh, you mean what they are? Yeah, they're CBS. Yeah.
Yeah. So they'll tell you, oh, if you don't watch it tonight, catch it tomorrow on Paramount Plus. I know they're just doing that to try to get subscribers to their stupid app.
Oh, of course.
But still, I think they're ruining it. I'm like, you missed it, sucker. You didn't record it. Too bad.
Yeah,
catch it on the next time.
ABC's the same. ABC.
Oh yeah,
watch,
yeah.
What's that good show? It takes place in the 80s. A sitcom. It's pretty good. Oh, the Goldbergs, and they tell you the same thing. Oh, hey, you missed it tonight. Watch it tomorrow on Hulu. You're like,
right,
oh,
okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
and why bother tuning in tonight? Let's catch it tomorrow.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There's certain shows like that I try to watch when they're on, but if I miss, I'm like, oh, I missed it. No, I know I can watch it anytime now during the week and catch up. The only show that I still watch like that, not including HBO Sunday night shows, which I still have to watch when they come on, is come on, you know it, Grey's Anatomy every Thursday. No. I have to watch it every Thursday. No. Good old Dr. Gray. Good old Dr. Gray.
But don't you think the trade-off though for the better writing is worth it? Because I mean, everybody competing with everybody, the writing has to come up. Oh, and I'm not saying, and I'm not saying, in the old days writing was bad, but when there were only 4 places to watch programming, you could have a shitty 1 or 2 shows and not be terrible.
No, it's true. Now. It's true, and I think even broadcast television still has the better shows because. Remember, they're selling to the advertising dollars. They need that audience, right? That's they need those shows to hit. Netflix can give you 3 seasons of a show you never heard of until season 3. Oh, this is pretty good. I never saw it before. And then you found out, oh, wait, it's not. There's only 3 seasons? How old is this show?
Right.
And it's done with. Yeah, no, I think network television still gives you quality. There's so much. It's crazy, but.
There's also the other side effect of Netflix, for example. You'll watch a show on Netflix and you're flipping through and watch something new, and then you see something and you start watching it. Oh, this is good. And you're thinking this is a Netflix show, but it's not. It was on CBS 2 years ago. People stopped watching it. Now Netflix picked it up. They have 2 or 3 seasons of it. And you're like, man, this is good. It's a good Netflix show. But no, it's not. You missed it because you probably missed it because you're too busy watching Netflix and not Netflix.
Netflix picked up NBC's Manifest, which was a really good show.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And the fans during the pandemic watched it so much on Netflix. It was #1 for like 8 weeks. And Netflix is like, you know what? Why don't we just give it 1 more season? NBC doesn't want it. Let's finish it off. And they're filming it right now. And they're going to give it to the folks, coming soon. So
same thing with Karate Kid. It started somewhere else.
YouTube.
Right. And then they decided this is good. And I'll tell you one more episodic you could probably include in that list is Picard. That's a CBS primetime show.
It's Paramount Plus show.
Yeah.
But the thing about YouTube is YouTube didn't drop it. They decided to not do any more scripted shows, So all their
Right.
shows are now reality-based shows because, of course, they're so much cheaper.
Do they still have YouTube Red? That's where it came from?
They do,
YouTube
but
Red,
it's only
okay.
for those type of shows now with their YouTube stars, basically reality
Oh
shows.
my
Oh,
God.
right.
Yeah,
Let
yeah, and they're
let
like
me run to that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the upside for YouTube Red is concerts. They do concerts. So if you like music, that is a bonus. But like Coachella, they showed Coachella, you know. So if you didn't make it to Coachella, you could have watched it on YouTube. But no, I think Netflix was smart. Oh, dude, pick up Karate Kid. They don't want it. Hell yeah, like
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
hit show. Like people love that show. So
it's very
I don't
smart.
know. Even though people say, "Oh, Netflix is losing subscribers and this, that, and this," dude, they're still their content. They give you so much stuff that you only put it on your list. You'll never watch it ever.
Oh
It's
yeah,
on your
my
list,
list
though.
is huge.
My list is, and when I go through my list, I remember that. It looks so good. Still won't watch it. Still,
I'll watch
leave
it next
there.
time.
Yeah, I'll leave it there.
I mean, I haven't watched Game of Thrones, and I want to.
You
and I want to.
bastard. It is such a good.
I got
show.
halfway
my
through
God.
the first one. I was like, shit, this is
Yeah,
good.
that show is.
This is
man.
hot girls and
You know what too
and
about in that show
brothers
was
with sisters.
yeah. Well, not even that. It left you. Every episode left you wanting
Mom?
more. Yeah. Every episode wanted you just. Oh, I want more. Like what happened? Like it's like the way
Oh, cliffhanger every week.
every week, and that's the way Walking Dead was for like the first 3 seasons. You wanted, oh, what's next? Oh man, and that just didn't last. Yeah.
And that's why I think streaming is really great, because I can look at Game of Thrones and know, you know what? Even if I'm working like crazy now, in a year, maybe I won't be so much. It'll be like going to the library. Like I'll have all these books I get to read. You know, I'll have all these shows which will still hold up.
Yeah.
They'll hold up in 10 years.
I mean, that's the upside to streaming in general, right? It's you know for a fact a show you may have liked in the past, you're gonna find it. You know.
Yeah.
And it could be an old show from the 70s, the 80s. Like I was watching Disney Plus. I forgot what I was watching. It was a newer show. And when it stopped, it decided to, it may have been even Hulu because they own the same company. It decided to play Perfect Strangers. And I was like, why is Perfect
The
Strangers
new one or
on?
the old one?
And the old one, like it just
Okay.
started playing automatically. And all of a sudden I watched the first 3 episodes going, I remember all this. Like I just knew everything about the whole show. And I was like, and it was so bad. But still, that show does not hold up at all.
And not to bang the drum dead, but I mean, I can still look. I've seen every Law and Order, I think, pretty much every one. And I can still look at ones from season 5 and be like, oh yeah, that was a great plot. That was a great,
Well, it's a good show. It's just a good
It is.
setup. I mean, it's the
It
same
is.
setup every time, but it's still a good show. It's the
it's
whole
just
show
written well and
and
acted
it's-
well.
If you like Who Done It, that's Law and Order. Just Who Done It. That's just if you like those type of shows. But
Yeah.
well, Carlos, what was your original topic? Because now we just kind of wandered off and something about streaming and upstream, downstream, fishing.
No, I
Trout.
think we hit it. I think we hit it. It was
We
about,
did.
I completely
I think we
forgot
hit
what
it.
it was.
Just isn't though. To me, it still doesn't feel like the way it used to. But I don't miss it that much because you'll find me sitting on the couch flipping through Netflix or Disney Plus or what else do I got? Hulu or what else did you get me?
No, you got
HBO
Disney
Max.
Plus.
Yeah, Disney Plus. HBO
I
Max.
mean, man, I got
Netflix.
Peacock, Paramount Plus, Disney Plus,
That's a lot. That's
Netflix,
too much. That's
Hulu.
too much.
Roku channel.
I do
which
know
is free.
something.
Which is
I do
free.
know something to get rid of, though. I
What
have
is
this.
that? Which one?
Well, I just had this one app that allows you to see like A&E, bio, like 20 different channels.
Okay.
I forgot what it's called, but I never watch that stuff. And it's
Yeah,
commercial. It's always filled with commercials. And I don't want most of the shows I have no interest in.
Yeah.
Oh, Roku has their own channel, Roku channel,
They do.
and they're producing movies now. They're producing the Weird Al Yankovic movie,
Well,
and that's
you know
gonna
where
be
Roku-
free.
You know where they got all of their content from?
I do not.
They bought
whatever
Tubi.
everyone else didn't want.
They bought Tubi. Remember Tubi?
Oh, Tubi. Yes.
Remember
Tubi's still a thing.
Yes,
Not
I
Tubi,
do
my
remember
mistake,
Tubi.
Not Tubi. What's the one that had Kevin Hart had his own sitcom on it?
Oh, that little
What
one.
was it
Yes,
called?
yes,
And
yes,
it lasted like a year, and they lost like $10 billion on it.
Mhm,
Oh,
I
what was it
remember.
called? Anyway, they bought all that content for like pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And then, so they have the Kiefer Sutherland show on there, The Fugitive.
Oh, really?
pretty good. Yeah, check that one out. But no, Roku channel has some good stuff. Yeah,
Oh, I
has some
remember
good
The Fugitive. Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
So check out that. But you're right. I just saw a preview for the Weird Al Yankovic movie starring Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
And it's for free on the Roku channel when it comes out. It's a free, like it's going straight to their streaming channel. So
yeah.
Because Roku is the #1 used streaming device in the United States.
Huh.
So they decided, hey, we have an audience built in. Why not have our own channel?
That's funny.
guess,
That's
you know,
interesting.
That makes
It
sense,
wasn't called
right?
Vibe, was it?
What is it called?
Vibe?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
remember
I
that.
forgot
I
the
know the
name
app
of
you're
it.
talking about, but I don't
Yeah.
remember the name of it.
Quibi. There we go. Quibi.
Quibi.
Because the idea is that they're quick
Quibi.
bites.
That's right.
'Cause
Little
the
like
original-
5-minute shows or 10-minute shows.
Yeah,
or
well, the
something.
original concept was, you only watch these in like 10 to 15-minute episodes. But then they made
Yeah.
full-length episodes as they went along, and nobody subscribed at all. Like, nobody wanted it. It's like CNN Plus. It literally lasted 2 weeks, and CNN shut it down. Who wants more of that?
It didn't make any sense. I didn't what was the plus part? That's what I don't understand.
The idea of that CNN Plus was that you got Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper when like outside of the news. You know
And?
exactly what? Why do I want that? I don't like. I already get you guys enough for 24/7 on your news network.
It's
Like,
hard enough to watch Don Lemon. All you see is this big head just fills the full screen. I don't need that. I
Good
need
old
more of
Don
that.
Lemon. Good old Donnie.
Do you guys watch over the air signals? How do you watch your over the air signals? Like local
Like
Sacramento,
local,
Carlos?
like
yeah,
KCRA type of stuff.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
local
yeah.
Fox affiliate.
Currently,
I
with
watch it
DirecTV.
through- Yeah, my DirecTV app. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you don't just use because we use an over the air antenna, which is just one of those things you buy, and it's amazing.
Which one do you have? Do you have the one that like sticks to the wall, or the one that actually goes on top
Similar.
of the TV?
No, similar to that, but it's just amazing the little tiny channels that are all part of the HD spectrum that you can get.
And how's
like-
the quality these days on those things? Because you know,
Adequate.
yeah, because when you go, of course, to a Walmart or Target and you see them, they're like HD quality. You're like, okay. And no. I mean, I guess it depends, right? Some channels are, some aren't, right?
Yeah, and it's more based on like 35 mile, 50 mile,
Yeah,
75
okay.
mile range.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely right. It really, like, I can have it laying like this, and I might get an extra 2 channels.
So basically like rabbit ears all over again, right? You just tweak it and
But it's amazing how many little channels there are. I have like 75. I never watch them, but it's just fun to scroll through them. And like,
yeah.
they'll be like 19.1, 19.2, 19.3.
Yeah, it's super random shows, right?
Oh
Like,
my God.
shows from like the 50s and 60s. And but if you live in LA, an antenna is not a bad idea because the stations are so close to each other, the radius, that you probably get clear channels all day.
We do
So-
once in a while watch Unimas. We watch
Oh yeah.
KC, que no.
Oh really?
Do you know that show?
I
It's
don't.
hilarious. I can tell.
No.
I speak not a lick of Spanish, but I can watch. I know exactly what's happening.
Oh
It's like
yeah,
these
yeah.
Guys meeting girls, and they're like, "So que sí, que no."
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's the whole show. That's the whole entire show. All right, we'll take a break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, Laura, can I ask you kind of a rude question? That's what we're here for. This is Impolite Society, the podcast that explores the topics you've been told not to talk about.
That's right. We explore cultural taboos, morbid curiosities, and the stuff you should probably know by now.
So join us as we ask the questions your mom told you never to ask. Like, how much do you make?
The questions you're dying to know the answers to, but are too afraid to ask, like, is it normal to spy on your spouse?
And the questions you never knew you needed the answers to, like, why is animated porn so popular?
New episodes come out every other Monday, and you can find Impolite Society wherever you get your podcast.
So buckle in and let's discuss the topics that won't fly in polite society.
Welcome to Nerds Talking the Podcast. As we jump back into it with Hugh, Carlos, and I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, download, review, tell your friends, turn on your notifications. Nerds Talking the Podcast, new episodes every Friday. So just like the streaming and the video, the streaming and audio also is a big is a big thing. Like is it, you guys find it weird that people buy vinyl still, and how vinyl's made some type of comeback? Just like an inkling of, I don't understand why people would even want vinyl compared to digital.
Doesn't that happen with everything though? Like especially with clothing, 70s clothes will die out, 30, 40 years will go by, and all of a sudden 70s clothes is back, or 80s. That's right. Or 90s. And I think happens with everything. But I do think the vinyl thing is silly, because people will argue with you that vinyl sounds better than digital, and you are stupid, and you probably believe the earth is flat.
Well, the reasoning is dumb. They try to tell you that, well, that's the real way it's supposed to sound. Like, no, it's not supposed to. When they record, the Beatles recorded music on reel-to-reel in studios, it doesn't sound like a vinyl record. It sounds clear, mixed down, it's mastered, it's da-da-da-da-da. It's not what you get on a vinyl record.
Time. That's how you recorded at the time. You do it now.
But it's I just think it's weird because Target has a huge area for vinyl records. And they sell record players, and they're all digital record players, in the sense where they're all USB powered or some shit. But it's just, where's the cassettes at? So I want to know.
Really, that's what you want? You want to buy a cassette?
I just think it's a vibe. I think it's a vibe when you bring someone over, like, I'm putting an album on. It's just a vibe. That's it. It sounds better. But it's like that old saying, what's old is new, what's new is old. Shit always comes back around. And it's more just because it's new. It's not new, but it is new to somebody today, because they didn't have a record player or an album.
But it's more of a niche thing,
Yes.
If you walk in, if us three walk into Johnny's house and he has a record player, oh, dude, you got a record player? What records you got? We'll actually be like, oh, records you got, man. You know, because we recall record players and cassette decks and you walk into, if you were 20 years old and you walk into your friend's house, I was 20 years old, you're probably like, oh, why do you got a record player, bro? You know what I mean? Like, what's that about? Oh, dude, I got the new Drake album from Target. Yeah, I gotta hear my phone. I can listen to it right now on Spotify.
Scroll down, pick the track you want instead of picking up the needle. Find the line. You got to put it on the line, and then you got to wait for the crackling and the popping, and then it starts.
But that's especially what I'm saying, because somebody who never had one probably thinks, "Oh, that's cool, man. I'll have that." Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You and I. I know my old albums, before I sold them, they were all dirty and scratched, and it was like, they're not going to play, because I didn't, I wasn't real good at taking care of them. So
they skip and
I mean, I'll tell you the upside to buying record players today. If you have an old collection, you can actually play them and it'll record them onto your laptop, computer. You can back stuff up. But then again, all your old records are probably on Spotify. Guaranteed 100%. There's some obscure record you got from Germany one night that you're like, no one has this. Oh, it's on Spotify. Whoever owns the rights to that record thinks they're gonna make extra money. We'll put it on Spotify because Hugh bought the 12th copy, and out of the only 12. And the only way people are gonna hear this shit is Spotify. That's what I don't understand, man. I mean, everything's consumed nowadays to the point where you don't need vast collections of DVDs, CDs, records. When's the last time you guys bought? Here we go. We'll go around. When's the last time you bought a cassette? Do you know which one it was? Do you know when the last CD you bought? And do you know the last movie you bought, which is going to be much sooner, the movie one? Do you guys recall any three of those: cassette, DVD, or record?
The last time I bought cassettes, and I don't remember the last one, but had to be in the mid 80s to late 80s, because I had a Walkman. Oh, yeah. And at the time I didn't have shit, so I had a bike. That's how I got to work. So I would listen to that Walkman, and it might have been Slave. It might have been I had Slave. Albums were probably around maybe a year or two or three before that. And then last movie, if you mean like a DVD.
Yeah, like buying a DVD. I mean, I would say
10 plus years ago. 10
Yeah,
plus
yeah,
years
okay.
ago.
Because VHS is the one thing that's never coming back.
No.
DVDs are still around. I mean, they still sell a shitload of DVDs. So, which is still wild to me that they sell
I don't
a ton
understand
of
it.
DVDs. I don't. Carlos, what do you recall your last cassette, album, or DVD? What do you
I
got?
didn't buy too many cassettes because I was too busy recording them. I'd buy blank ones and make my own mixtapes.
That's true. Yeah.
But I think I do remember my very last cassette was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Okay.
I think that was my very
Yeah.
last
Which one was
cassette.
it though?
The
Was
first
it?
one, Eternal East
Oh,
99
okay.
Eternal. Is that what it is?
Yeah, yeah. East 99 Eternal. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was the one. That was the last cassette that I bought.
That's a great group.
My last, what do you say? Last VHS
Movie, DVD, or record. I don't think I could tell you record, to be honest, because I bought the cassettes back in the day, not records.
I couldn't tell you what vinyl I bought last, but last movie, it's actually pretty recent because I still buy DVDs, especially if they're like $5. I'm like, I'll get that for $5. Is
No.
Oh, well, you know what? It was Dark Knight because
Mm.
only because in my bedroom I had a regular DVD player, and then downstairs I have a Blu-ray. I had a Blu-ray, and one night I wanted to watch it while I was in bed, didn't have it, so the next day I went out and bought it on regular DVD.
Ah, yes. I think the last.
Do you
movie
remember
I-
the very
no,
first
bad.
DVD you bought?
Oh, wow.
Hell no.
The first DVD. Wow. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a comedy. I couldn't tell you though. If it wasn't a comedy, it was. No, I'm pretty sure it was a comedy. If it was, like I said, if it wasn't a comedy, it's probably a Disney movie. But I couldn't tell you at all. I could tell you the very first CD I ever bought. It was
What was
Beastie
that?
Boys.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
one, though?
Ill Communication.
Ill Communication.
Yeah, I had that too.
The last cassette I ever bought was actually Eminem, and it was the Eminem Show
On cassette?
on cassette. Yeah. That was the last
You know, it was
cassette
available
I
on
bought.
CD because I have that on CD.
Well, it's not that. It's because
There's a
our
work
mother
Walkman
owned
or
a
something?
car that only had a cassette player, and when I drove it around, I bought it for that reason, so I can play. So I could play Eminem on the cassette deck. But that was the last cassette I ever had. And as for vinyl, no, I don't. I'll be honest. I don't think I've actually ever bought a record because our dad bought so many records, and Paul used to buy a shitload of records that I didn't. There's no need for me to buy records. The records that I wanted, they were already at the house. Like they were there. So yeah, no, I just but first DVD. Still trying to think about that one. It may have been The Crow, to be honest. It may have been The Crow because that was like 1996, maybe. So it may have been The Crow, but and I still have it, even though I don't need it. It's on Netflix, so it's another. I mean, I always feel like taking my DVDs to a place that still buys them, but just thinking that, hey, here's 70 DVDs, here's $20. Ah, you got me.
What's funny is my car still has a cassette player. Because I mean the car I bought was from a buddy, was a 2006 Mercury Marquis with a cassette player.
Yeah. You know what? Artists are putting their stuff out on cassette, which is hilarious, but you're going to get them through their websites.
Why?
So I know, but I don't think people are buying them for the sake of ever playing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to have them?
I think I think it's almost like to display, like there's it would be kind of cool to buy a bunch of cassettes that are wrapped still, like, that they're all wrapped in their original covers and everything. And kind of just having almost like a basket on your coffee table and just dumping them in there. People almost like they books. People just go through them. Oh, you got this. Oh, you got this. You got this. I'm like, right. Don't open them though. Leave them closed. Just
Can't play them. Don't open them.
Yeah. Like I don't have a cassette deck. Like,
so instead of having that basket on your coffee table, those stupid empty balls or decorative balls,
Yeah. What do they call that
tapes.
stuff?
It's just
potpourri.
tapes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's cassette tapes.
Wasn't there a theory that if there was more space to the recording material, it held more information? back in the day, we would, video would be on 1 inch, and once it got smaller and smaller and then digital, you were thinking, why would anybody keep 1 inch? Well, because it's 1 inch of space.
Yeah. Yeah.
So doesn't cassette have not the 1 inch of space, but it has this much space for information? I don't know if that's more or less, but wasn't there a theory that the older recording formats were better because they held more information? And wasn't that even the theory of record albums?
Did an 8-track hold more information than a cassette? I don't think so.
Conceivably, because the tape was probably this big.
It is. No, it's a much thicker tape. Yes, but man, cassettes got all the way up to 120 minutes. Like, we all know this, man. We used to.
I'm talking about width.
You know what you're saying? Yeah, I get it. Yeah. But I'm saying 8 tracks wouldn't hold as much information as a cassette.
But 8 tracks could do what cassettes couldn't. 8 tracks could do what CDs do. You could skip a track and go to the next one.
It is
you couldn't
true.
do that with a cassette.
Right.
It's 8 tracks had like the advanced technology of that. Yeah.
Imagine what you're saying. 8 track had the advanced technology.
I know, right? And you didn't have and you didn't have to flip them over or anything.
No, they flipped themselves.
They flipped themselves. It was 8 tracks are wild, man. Bring them back, man.
With my old Walkman, I'd have to take it out.
I know.
Turn it around.
Flip it over.
And how about when you got to the end because you recorded your own tape, but you had like 8 minutes.
You didn't get all the way to the end.
Yeah, the song was 5 minutes, so you have 3 minutes of blank.
So you had to fast forward.
Yeah, and you're like, do I save those 3 minutes or I record a little something at the end of it? Like, what do I do here?
But I had an advanced Walkman. You flip a switch on the top.
I know, I remember that one.
And it would flip the side for you.
Flip the side for you.
You have to take it out.
That's
flip
right.
it for you.
And actually start playing the other side for you.
Like the heads would flip or something, and it would start playing the other side.
Yeah, that's right. Advanced 80s technology. So great. Well, I mean, and you know what was worse than a Walkman though was the CD portable CD. The Discmans were worse.
They were like how? Yes,
skip all the time.
Unless you would have it on a table and you weren't moving.
Yeah. I think that's I think that was what the idea really was, right?
And then God forbid you walk or move.
You couldn't be portable at all with that damn thing.
No,
but. People are like, this nerd's talking is like a flashback for old dudes. But you know what? If you guys experienced it like we did, that's like people. Like I always tell people, man, kids nowadays have it made because they've reached almost the pinnacle of some technologies, right? Like it's going to be, like nothing's gonna surpass the digital age. It's just gonna be in a different delivery system, if anything. We've hit that age of there's no other, you can't go any further with digital music or digital anything. It's just how it's delivered. It's going to be the next form, but we got to experience it all. We got to experience every advent of if you guys only knew,
I mean, can you go back and just name the types of technology you lived through? I mean, as far as audio goes, like reel to reel, 8-track, vinyl.
I have a great story for that, but it's not.
Go for it.
Well, it's not as direct. It is related, but it's not. It's more the first cell phone. I remember because we were working at Channel 10. I was working at Channel 10 at the time, and we had these brick cell phones. They were
the packs.
Carry it on a bag.
Right. But because nobody had shit then, the signal would be unbelievable. Like we're talking right now, as crystal clear as you could see. Right? Oh my God!
Who could you call? Because who else had a phone?
Well, it was only the station, but still, that's right.
Isn't it hilarious? Right. Those phones, though, they were bricks, basically, they were little
huge.
Purses in a sense.
It was right here, in between the seats, with a little mic right up here. It was great. I loved it.
I mean, the first technology probably I remember is reel to reel because my dad was a radio disc jockey, so I remember him using 8 tracks and reel to reel, record players, cassette players. I mean, think about it. You've been through it all, man. CD players. What haven't we been through in a sense? Haven't we tried and experienced and seen the technology grow? I mean, our first grasp at CDs was like, what? Remember
remember the little CDs, the little they're like little cassettes, right? Little cartridges.
They tried to make the cartridge CDs and they didn't catch on. That's long. Right, didn't last at all. Yeah.
Oh yeah, mini CDs. Yeah.
And laser discs.
Laser discs.
That didn't catch on. The quality was incredible, but didn't catch
And
on.
what about audio tech? I mean, I remember your car radio was a radio, and then a pull out. Remember, you had to have a pull out. They carry that stupid thing around in a bag so nobody would steal it. So you pull your stereo out. And they went to face. Then you remove the face instead of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I had that.
Yeah,
I had the removable face. Yep.
A lot of like I said, that's why when you buy a car these days, there's no CD player in it anymore. You have everything's digital. They give you Sirius XM right away off the bat. Like, here, you can have it for 6 months for free. Oh, okay, cool. Or your phone just connects to the radio and that's it. You're done. That's your whole your phone is everything these days. It is literally everything. It's your computer. It's your entertainment. It's again, kids don't understand. We didn't have any of that
until it's implanted right here, and you go
beep in your forehead. And
yeah,
exactly.
And then it plays.
Like, what if you like go to the store to buy something, you just touch your forehead to the keypad,
slam your forehead on the counter. Yeah,
paid, sir. You're good.
Take that.
Yeah.
But even now, I feel like a super spy because I have my, my Apple Watch with the wallet on it. So I just double click, tap my watch. I walk out the door. I spot what I got.
Oh, I love using my phone to pay for everything because the people behind me that are like older, they're so like, what? Like, how did he?
Then you turn around and hand them a pen. You're gonna need that for your check.
Yeah, for your check, you're writing. I saw somebody.
That's another thing.
I saw somebody write a check recently.
No kidding.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I wrote checks, and then it's like
crazy. Oh no, I did too. Like back in like
before the debit card,
mid '90s maybe, right? You wrote a check. But it's funny. I saw this person writing a check at a grocery store, and she had to only be in her 50s, and I'm like, why are you writing a check? You're not that out of touch, are you? Like,
the best part though is how old the clerk is. When they look at that, I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, they have no idea what a check is.
What is that?
They're super confused at why are you handing me a piece of paper? Why'd you write a bunch of numbers on it? Yeah, and I think it's funny when people like our age don't know how to use a computer. Because computers really took off definitely in the late 80s. And I think people even saw computers back then like, man, really? That's not. That's
a phase.
You're always going to have to use notepads.
that is the flip side of it, because there are, plenty of folk my age that are looking at, like, what are you doing? What's a sheet? What's Excel?
What's a spreadsheet? What is the internet and what is it for? It's
like, seriously, are you kidding?
Yeah, no, it's crazy, man. I mean, I know somebody that's in his 30s that doesn't know really how to use a computer, which is so
that's unbelievable.
And he owns one. No, I didn't. But it's wild to me, man. I mean, let me tell you, you young kids that listen to this, you better learn your computers, learn your Excel spreadsheets, learn anything and everything you can. Just the basics about a computer if you want to survive life. You got to learn your shit, man. You got to learn your shit.
I like Carlos's question. Your old moment.
What was it? What is your first old moment? Was that what it was?
Yeah, when was your first, oh shit, I'm old moment?
Oh, wow. Okay. Hugh, what was your first, oh shit, I'm old moment? Was it when you stumbled into the Last Supper going, wait a second, I wasn't invited?
Moses, you son of a bitch.
You got me again. That motherfucker.
Somebody get Pontius Pilate on the phone. This is bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Judas, you said I was invited, man.
I think it's like I shaved my chin a couple of years ago because I was taken to shot for something. I was auditioning for something, and I said, "What is that chicken neck? What is that?"
Oh, the chicken neck shout out.
I'll give you one example. I don't know if it was my first one, but I was on a cruise with the family like 20 years ago, and even then it was like just 40s and early 40s. Even then it was the 40s, and somebody told me how they were interested, and then they followed it up with, I'm really into older guys. What?
Ouch.
Ow. Huh? No, I'm not. I'm not older.
Yeah, no, that'll do it. Yeah, when you're called out on that, right? Yeah, and you're old, dude.
You should have been. Well, lucky for
Like
you,
it's
I'm into dumb, you little young girls.
Yeah, it was like the compliment with the dull knife, like
Yeah.
like you're hot, but because I like older guys. What? Okay. Yeah.
I mean, mine was just not. I mean, not that long ago. Probably when I was like 39 or 40, and I was playing basketball at 24 Hour Fitness, and I probably look like I'm early 30s, but I was running up and down the court, kind of like an old man would. Like my knees are killing me and everything. And then I made a couple of 3-pointers, and somebody yells out, "Even the old man can shoot." I was like, "Oh no, man! What are you talking about? Like, don't do me like that." Like,
Hey, what's
and yeah, so that was, and I was just like, okay. And then I hit like 2 more, and we won. And I was like, "Old man wins the game." Do you remember? I don't know if you remember. We used to play basketball a lot back in the day. And there was this Asian guy that played with us all the time. He must have been in his 60s, but he had the energy of a 20-year-old, and he can shoot lights out. And he played with us. He was the coolest guy. We played all the time with him.
Yep.
And man, this guy, it is just a really cool dude. But I tell you, 60 years old, running up and down the court, having a great time with these youngsters. And I just looked at him going, "Oh, that's never going to happen." Never gonna happen. Like,
do you know what I saw the other day, and I was watching it, I forget where, but they had 100-meter race of over 90, or no, I guess it was over 80 at a track and field event, and there was a guy in the race who was 100, who did a
10-meter race.
No, it was 100 meters, and he did it.
Was 100 meters at that pace.
He did it in 26 something 100 meters.
Holy shit.
No, 26 seconds.
Seconds? No kidding.
I'm not even kidding you. It's like,
I mean, if you had
those are combine numbers, man. Somebody signed that guy up.
If you had to run 100 yards right now, how fast do you think you could do it?
I'm not sure I could. I'm not sure I could.
100 yards.
I'd have to walk it.
Oh.
Now think about it in the sense of every 10 yards. How fast do you can run every 10 yards? Because you're gonna slow down when you hit like 50 yards. You're not gonna keep up the pace.
I'll tell you, the guy that won it was an 84-year-old, and he won it. I think his time was 16 something. 16 something seconds. Six seconds over the world. 7 seconds over the world record.
I could do 10 yards in 3 seconds.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Well, okay. You know what? I could see 100 yards in 30 seconds. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
I think I could do that.
If you're gonna do this, is a full.
But wait. Are we talking full 100, or are we doing 10 yards? Give me a break.
Oh no! You're running 100 yards.
10 yards, and then just count them as you do them. That's 3 seconds.
10 yards. Hold on 1 sec. Hang on.
You know what's really crazy? When you watch
water break at the 50-yard line.
When you watch football on TV, even when you go to an actual game, the field looks huge.
Super small.
Well, no.
On TV, it's huge.
On TV, it's huge. In person, it's small in general, but it's still big. It's still a big field.
Yeah.
But when you play football, like I did in high school, the field seems so small. It just doesn't seem that big at all. It just seems so tiny. But 100 yards. It's gonna sound so sad, but it's probably gonna be 30 seconds though. But it's still probably not even that. I give myself 35 seconds. I mean,
in my state right now, that 30 seconds is a good number.
30 seconds is a good number. I think it's just in general.
Yeah, if I don't pass out at the 20.
Right, 20 yards in, done.
20 steps in. 20,
Are you kidding?
Just walking up and thinking about it.
I'm carrying 2 people. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think sports is when the old moments. You definitely get the old moments in sports. But you also get the old moments at home when you're feeling good, and then your back just goes out, and you're like, mother like, come on. Like, I wasn't doing anything. Like, I was picking up some shoes. Like,
I've said that many times. Whoever said going, your 50s or 60s are your golden years is on crack. What the fuck are they talking about? It's not your golden years.
No. It's, can't stop it, right? So adapt to it. Stop running around. Stop playing sports and tell everybody the stories of your good old days, the glory days.
Well, my first oh shit, I'm old moment happened when my wife, much younger than me, never been to a drive-in. So we went to a drive-in movie.
Oh, drive. I could see that. Drive-ins are also old school. Yeah.
Yeah, they still have one here in Sacramento, which I love going to. It's cool. But anyway, I think she drove, and I just wasn't really paying attention when we went through the gate. When we paid for the tickets, and we got to the whatever screen you choose, whatever screen your movie's playing at. You pull in, you park, whatever. And here I am looking for the fucking speaker box to pull in the window. Like, there's no fucking speaker box.
Oh man, they haven't had those for a long time. Yeah,
I would have looked too. Today I would have looked. Where the fuck is the box?
Wasn't the speaker
it's
box
supposed to hang here, isn't it?
Wasn't it so dumb though for everybody else but the driver?
Yeah, he's the only one who could hear.
Well, you pull it inside the car, so
I know, but it was
blasting on one side or the other. But yeah, and then she told me that the guy who gave her the receipt told her to change this radio station, so now it's picked up by radio in your car.
Yeah.
But I was looking for the fucking speaker box. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck happened?
I'm watching a silent film.
I remember you'd grab that shit, you put it on your window, and it would clang.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, big old metal box.
Could you imagine if you were that old though? You got there and you couldn't figure out the radio thing, and you just yelling the whole time, "I'm deaf! I'm fucking deaf!"
I want my money back. There's no sound.
I don't have any audio.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Old-timey.
You're right though. That speaker box was ridiculous. Nobody could hear it in the back seat.
Ridiculous.
They'd be like, "What is he saying?"
Yeah. I remember going to like the theater, the movie drive-ins with my friends in high school. Half the time we weren't paying attention. We're just talking and sitting in the back of the dude's, like, he had a van. We just opened the back, sat on the bumper, just all talking crap about people at school, and it was a hangout. It was
the way to do it. You'd come in like with lawn chairs and like bags of food and drinks and shit. And just be like,
there'd be like 5 of us, and 2 of the guys were paying attention.
Yeah,
and 3 of us were just like, remember so and so's class? He's dummy. Like,
yeah, it's just an experience.
The cool thing about drive-ins now, like, if you have one available in your area. Yeah, we would pick up a pizza, grab some beer, and just bring it with us. And that is the best thing about driving, just in general. You bring what you want. You always get a double feature.
It's always 2, and some are 3.
If you miss the first one, you wait till after the second one, and they play it again.
The first one. Yeah, they play it again. Yeah.
At some point, I realized I'm not really here to see the movie. Just the movie's background.
Yeah,
I'm eating and drinking.
You would think in Alaska, they'd be really popular. 6 Months of Dark, driving theaters,
30 Days of Night.
That's what it is. 30 Days of Night. Yeah, but
a pretty good movie, by the way.
It is a very really good movie. The sequel. Crap. Yeah. All right. Well,
can I just tell you about my favorite thing about that movie, by the way?
Which one? 30 Days. Yeah.
Yeah, he made up that language. That's like my favorite thing.
Wait, who made up that language?
The lead, what's his name? Son. No, the
lead vampire.
Yeah, he's a big actor's son, and they actually made the language up. And like my favorite line is in that movie where she's like, "Oh my God, no, God."
It's a good movie. It's based on a comic book, another comic book movie.
So they should have done. He did do another one, but I didn't see the sequel. Was the sequel horrible?
Yeah, it's not good. Garbage. No, it's garbage. Wasn't the sequel direct to DVD? I can't recall. Yeah, it was trash. Yeah, it's trash. No bueno.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the guy invented his own language. Who gives a shit? You don't speak it. Nobody ever's going to speak it. That's kind of like a Fifth Element, where what's her name? Jovovich.
Yes. Yeah, Mila.
She made a big deal that her and the director made up the language that she was speaking. Like, it's just gibberish.
It
You
is.
don't speak it?
That movie is
Nobody else is
gibberish.
going to speak it. Who cares
Yeah.
if you invented it?
And even in the movie, no one understood her. Yeah.
No, like cool.
Yeah.
Multi-pass.
I still
Forever.
think it was cool that he invented his own language because the language is pretty cool.
Oh no, it is cool. What he was saying is that go ahead and invent your own language. Like nobody knows the hell it is.
No,
anyway.
I know. I know.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, there we go. Oh wait, is that your old guy moment? You were watching that going, and you were saying, "I understood all of it because they spoke of ancient Rome."
What do you mean you didn't invent that? I remember that shit.
Yeah, well,
That was-
shit. I remember.
No, that was Aramaic. I understood.
that was Aramaic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you watch Passion of the Christ without subtitles?
He does.
That's correct. I did.
No, he doesn't do that. He corrects the movie.
Correct. That's not how you pronounce it, you dumbass.
All right. Well, there you go. That's our show. Thanks for tuning in to Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll see you next time. For Carlos,
Bye-bye.
for Hugh,
Live long and prosper.
and I'm Lafayette. Remember to tune in every Friday for a new episode of Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll see you next time.